In case y'all don't know, you're here tonight to see the wonderful Mr. Bob Livingston.
All right, thank you. Yes, okay. Yeah. It's good to be here. My name is Bob Livingston. I came all the way from Austin, Texas to be right here, and glad to be back here at the Waxahachie House Concert. Waxahachie is such an interesting word. I'd like to know more about it. She lives down south where the river's age goes back to the original spirit, and the India ink is flowing over the page down to the original spirit, and the rhythm of life is still young, as she is one among the original spirits. And every morning she walks out to the sacred ground where the ancient music is playing. She begins to sing as the rain falls down, like 1,000 voices were praying. And then the clouds have all gone, and her light shines on in her original spirit. And I need to know that I'm a part of this original spirit. I need to know it, you know that? Where my aim is sure, and I ride that royal road. And I know the truth, well, I know it when I hear it, in its original spirit. So take me down south where the river's age goes back to the original spirit, and the India ink is flowing over the page down to the original, and the rhythm of life still young here in Waxahachie, Texas tonight. And we are all at one with the original spirit. original spirit. Thank you very much. Original Spirits. I'm glad you showed up. So, Randy told me not to talk about tax dollars so early in the show, especially with such an affluent crowd, he said, that is going to be here tonight. But I got a chance to work with the United States State Department, and they sent me places that we may never want to go again. I don't know. I hope my music didn't do any harm over there rather than good, exacerbate any situation. I'm not sure. But of all the countries I went to, India was the furthest out for me and maybe the furthest in. I got a chance to be there a lot and play and played with these local musicians on their indigenous instruments. We call this music country and eastern music, or ragabilly. Oh yeah, ragabilly. So I came back to Austin. I loved the sounds that we were doing, and I just wanted to figure out how to do it. I'd been playing with Jerry Jeff and Los Gonzo Band, but this was a chance to be, take some of these Indian ragas and rhythms that I had learned and find some musicians that could play it. And so there was plenty of Western musicians in Austin to kind of play it, and some even wore cowboy hats. But we need the real Indians, and so we found them. They also worked for Dell, but these were geniuses. We put together, they played sitar, tabla, mridangam, chinda, the veena. We had a veena player. And the group is called Cowboys and Indians. Dots, not feathers. Actually, the thing is, there is some sort of PC thing going on. I'm in the Texas Commission on the Arts and the Austin Arts Commission stuff, and so you have to be kind of PC, and so people are questioning Cowboys and Indians because it gives a negative image thing. That's what they said. But the thing is, it's East meets, where East meets West. We've got these people, so we're trying to play. It's kind of like the 1969 University of Texas, Austin, Arkansas game in Fayetteville. Nixon was there. Remember that story? And it was this wild and crazy thing. And all around them was all this stuff happening. They just had to play the game. I don't hear my guitar. You hear my guitar? Oh yeah. That's your part. Some cowboys and Indians came riding across the sand of a blood-red painted desert, lone equestrians. Sometimes red is black and black is white. Mortal colors vanish from your sight, but not the cowboys and Indians. Visionary drifters on a timeless caravan, sticking close together when things get out of hand, sharing in an unspoken word that each and every one of us has heard. Cowboys and Indians. Here's your part. That's great. Do it again. Sacred, almost holy, they were here before me, and carry on. One more time. Through the lost horizon, went into disguise, and carried on and on and on and on and on. And they're never without focus. They're never without focus. Always on a sacred trail. And it's absolutely guaranteed their steps will never fail. Oh, the wheel is turning, even standing still. And the wisest men know never to reveal. The cowboys and Indians, yeah! Cowboys and Indians and cowgirls, cowboys and Indians. Here's your part. Oh, that's right. Oh, yodeling. That's your part too. Oh, that's right. Oh, yodeling. One more time. Oh, oh yeah. Oh, yodeling. And they are cowboys and Indians. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much. So, I'm from Lubbock, Texas. And I went to Lubbock High School. And I had Miss Honey for English. That'll be important later on. Actually, it's important right now. What am I thinking? I don't know. Miss Honey was an elderly woman. I didn't know what to think about her at the time. I'm a kid. And she's pretty stern and strict. And she was trying to get me to wrap my mind around the Canterbury Tales by Geoffrey Chaucer. Do you know what I'm talking about? One that the prelly with a sure asserter, that Ruth the March has pierced to the rota, and bathed every vein in swishly coo. Why did you have to learn that, Greg Vaughn?
I just remembered it.
I just remembered it too. I mean, we all had to do it up to a certain point. So I didn't know what to think about her. But then I found out at the beginning of her career, Glennis Honey, as a young honors English teacher, taught Buddy Holly English. Taught him the Canterbury Tales. So I'm like, God. All of a sudden, everything gets a little more interesting. And I pestered her with questions. Where'd he sit? She said, over by the door, Bob, she said. So the desk bolted to the ground. I sat in Buddy Holly's desk that senior year. When I first sat down, I can just say that it was there was a vibration. It was pretty vibey. And I was, I kept thinking that he was going to come to me. Buddy Holly was going to come to me. And sure enough, I channeled Buddy Holly. And he did come to me, and he gave me this insight into some of the songs he wrote, like Not Fade Away. This really cute girl right across the aisle, he had no way to talk to her. He had no way to talk to her. He just wanted to say something to her, but what he wanted to say is, I'm going to tell you how it's going to be. You're going to give your love to me. That's what he wanted to say. But you see, he just couldn't say it. So he had to go, I'm going to tell you how it's going to be. You're going to give your love to me. That's what he wanted to. So when he sang it, he could get by. He could get by with it. He wouldn't be tried for indecency or anything. So he did give me insight like that, and he gave me insight in the Canterbury Tales, but the best piece of advice he gave me was to get out of Lubbock. And I did. And I took off for the Wild West. I got as far as Red River, New Mexico. And this is 1969 by the time I got out of there. I also forgot to mention that winning the lottery makes you much more likely to take chances. And I won the lottery that year, and so I was, do you know what I'm talking about? The first draft lottery of 1969. All you old timers remember where we were watching that television. The guys pulling these birthdays out of a glass cylinder, and everybody's sweating bullets, and the mothers and fathers and the brothers and sisters and the girlfriends and boyfriends, I guess, and all kinds of. It created quite a stir, and I got number 309. 80.
I was 306.
306. You didn't get drafted either. How about? Anybody remember?
I already served and got out.
All right. You already served and got out.
342.
342. See, we all have this in common. 331. We all we were lucky. What's that?
Wound up in the Navy anyway.
Oh, yeah. Wound up in the Navy anyway. All right. After this little interlude, now we'll get back to the... No, actually, that was beautiful. That was a cultural sharing experience. And so I took off for the Wild West, and I got to Red River, New Mexico, and I got a gig in this place called the Riverview Inn. I was a kid, wet behind the ears. It was my first gig out of town. They put a sign over my head that said, "Singer survival depends on donations." And I just want you to know, brothers and sisters, nothing has changed. Not one single thing. And so here, I was out there having a great time. They gave me room and board and tips. So I was working for tips even then, Singer Survival. And down the street, though, there was a band, and they told me to go down there and hear these guys, and they were called Three Faces West. Rick Fowler Wayne Kid and this wise ass named Ray Hubbard. Now, he wasn't Wiley yet. He was just plain old Ray Hubbard at this point, or Hubbard sometimes. And we became friends. They had played these songs that I'd never heard before, and the ones that really struck me were by this guy named Mike Murphy. He wasn't Michael Martin Murphy yet. He just plain old Mike Murphy. But he had written Wildfire by this time. Didn't record it to you later. And all this great stuff. And I was like, God, what incredible songs. So I learned a couple of them, and I kept on moving west. And I got to Los Angeles. And I got a couple gigs out there, and I got a record deal. And they gave me just enough money to buy a Datsun pickup truck and a Martin guitar. And I was driving down this dusty dirt road in the middle of Los Angeles one fine day, and the hand of fate just kind of came out of nowhere, steered my little Datsun the side of the road. Now, when the hand of fate speaks, now, Bucky, can a hand speak? Absolutely. I think so too. When the hand of fate speaks, then somehow you've got to take heed of that. And I did, and I stopped for that hitchhiker. Changed my life forever. I wouldn't be standing here today telling you this story if it wasn't for this guy. He was from Austria. He worked on foreign cars for movie stars in Hollywood and got bit acting parts. And I tell him my life story, which lasts only 2 blocks. Not much had happened to me. And he turns to me and says, the only other Texan I know is from Dallas. I work on his Jaguar. He's a musician too. His name is Mike Murphy. Well, that guy became the governor of California, but we won't even. No, that's the only thing that I have. That's the only thing that I told you that isn't the truth. It wasn't Schwarzenegger, but it was this guy from Austria. He was a mechanic. I did give him my name and number, and I told him to give it to Murphy. And that night, this guy, Mike Murphy, calls me up. Why am I supposed to call you? What's going on? Who are you anyway? And I told him about Red River and Three Faces West and Ray Hubbard and learning some of his songs. I said, your song's as good as anything I've heard since the Beatles. And Murphy went, you know what? You're a genius. We need to meet. So that's how we met. And so I met this guy, Mike Murphy. It wasn't long, though, before my record deal fell through. And so did Murphy's. It was kind of cosmic. And we decided there's only one thing to do, and that was get back to Texas where we once belonged. So we got on I-10 heading east. That's kind of redundant, really, I guess, out of Los Angeles. Kind of be hard to be heading west. 2.5 sunrises later, my little Datsun blew a head gasket in Van Horn, Texas. Anybody been to Van Horn? You know, it's the world's largest truck stop, just full of millions and millions of gallons of diesel and coffee all mixed together. Surly waitresses, really surly. Suspect cooks. They serve diesel fried steak every Saturday night. Now, Randy, that's probably what you ought to do is have some diesel fried steak the next time I come. So, anyway, I digress. Not really, because we were there for another 2.5 sunrises. So he hung out in this all-night cafe. We didn't have any money, so we couldn't get a hotel. At least I didn't have any money. I think Murphy was staying in the Hilton. But in any case, I remember being in there, and Murphy came in, and all these people, and the town iconoclast was holding court. His name was Cactus Jack. And across the table from him was a young fella with a faraway, lonely look in his eye. Just way too far away and way too lonely for such a young boy. But his lady love had run off and left him, and you know what that can do to you. And he was telling old Jack a sad story, and everybody in the room just kind of leaned in. And he said, right in the middle of the 10-cent scenery, shuffled and stacked on a postcard rack, there's a cute little kid on a shelling pony. She smiles at me and I can't smile back. And Cactus Jackie drinks coffee black. Look at it. He says, son, this is your lucky day. 5 o'clock in a Texas morning, I come a long, long way. 5 o'clock in a Texas morning, I come a long, long way. Well, now she left me cold on a winter's morning, and cold it's been for the longest time. She told me Texas is where she was going, and I've been looking, but she's so hard to find. And Cactus Jackie drinks coffee black. He says, son, this is your lucky day. 5 5 o'clock in a Texas morning, I come a long, long way. Oh, 5 o'clock in a Texas morning, I come a long, long way. I don't know just where I'm gonna find her. Maybe the soldier with a suitcase saw. She just said she was going down to Texas for a little while. Yeah, I'm looking for the girl with long brown hair. She got hazel eyes and she's not too pretty, but she's got a beautiful smile. She just said she was going down to Texas for a little while. Oh, that's what she said. Well, now the cook in the back, he's getting mighty curious, and he asks the waitress where I'm from. She just says, well, heck, I ain't never seen him before. He's probably some sort of spaced out California bum on his way down I-10 till he get to San Antonio. And that world's most dangerous stretch of highway. Go up north, probably get a ticket and shirts. Keep on traveling past that New Braunfels and San Marcos, Kyle and Buda. On in, he's gonna take a little detour, I heard, in that wild left-wing hippie pinko town, Austin, Texas. He heard there's some stuff going on there, but anyway, then he's gonna get on past Waco, where all the wildest women in Texas go to that college there, Baylor College. I never could figure that out. I'd always like to visit that one. Take the right fork, get to that Waxahachie, roam around till you get to the listening room. A lot of nice people coming, everybody bringing a covered dish. Just sounds like a great time to meet people, fellow music lovers such as myself, and I could get out of this one-horse town, and I just wish I was going, little boys. And Cactus Jackie says, that's right, as I walk out into the light. 5 o'clock in a Texas morning, I got a long, long ride. Oh, yeah. 5 o'clock in a Texas morning, I got a long, long ride. Oh, outside, the sun is coming up. And the wind blows smooth, just like a Dixie cup, a Dixie cup. And down the highway, down the highway, let's get on that highway. We gotta get to Waxahachie. Oh yeah. Five o'clock in a Texas morning, and I got a long, long, long ride. These allergies get me good.
No
Voice is
kidding.
terrific.
Hey, Helen, would you we've got some newbies here. We've either got to set up the initiation room or you've just got to tell them what they've got to do tonight.
Okay, for you newbies here that don't know, we we get this all together and bring in the artists, and it's up to y'all to fill up that container back there with as much as you can so that they keep on coming back to see us. Also, this is a listening room, so we ask that you don't have conversations between each other while the music is going. You can have conversations with the artist, that's fine, and have fun.
Jar's right here. It's got the lights in it by the door. Y'all got to fill it up.
What's that sign? What that sign say, Bob? Artists are dependent upon.
Now you got me. I don't remember what it said.
I said if y'all don't fill this jar up, Bob's going to keep having to work for the State Department.
Again.
Lord knows we don't want that.
We needed a place to live. We weren't going to move to Lubbock, which is where I was from, and we weren't going to move to Dallas, which is where Murphy's from. So that aforementioned left-wing hippie pinko town, the streets were full of musicians and artists and actors and dancers of every description. It was a whirlwind of creativity. It was Austin, Texas. We said, that's the place for us. So we moved to Austin, and I was playing with Michael Murphy, and I had that record deal. When it fell through, I had no idea what to do. I didn't have a plan B. What am I going to do now? I really didn't even think for 1 second what I was going to do next. That's where I was, and I was just, okay, now what? Maybe I'll go out and weed the garden. I don't know what I was thinking, but Murphy said, come in. I've got some gigs back in Texas. Come play bass with me. I don't know how to play bass. He said, you'll learn. And he handed me the Fender Precision bass. So for the next 35 years, I was playing bass. So I'm playing bass with Murphy. And the band's getting bigger, and we're hanging out in this great place called the Les Amis Cafe. I don't remember if anybody remembers that from back in the day in Austin, Texas. The Les Amis Cafe. It was right there on 24th Street in Nueces, and so it's right on the campus, right there. And that's where everything was happening in Austin at that time. It was University of Texas, and that street, the drag. A lot of things were going on. A lot of music, a lot of friends, and we were in the cafe, and the door burst open, and the first thing I noticed about the guy was his boots. He had the coolest boots I'd ever seen. They were walking towards our table, and there was this embossed, it looked like a foreign language. I couldn't even fathom what I was just, and then I looked up, and like he had a 13.5-gallon hat on, and this extraordinary embroidered vest and a bathing suit. And he walked up to our table and said, "Why, you look like a bunch of itinerant footloose musicians such as myself. Do you mind if I sit down? My name is Jerry Jeff." So Jerry Jeff Walker walked into our lives, and there he was, and he says, "Man, I got songs, let's make a record." So we make this record with Jerry Jeff. It's just called Jerry Jeff, and it has LA Freeway on it, you know that song, and Charlie Dunn. No, I don't know if it has Charlie Dunn. Yeah, it does. And some songs like that. And so it was, so all of a sudden we've played on this record, and that's pretty cool. And the band is getting better, and Jerry Jeff walks in and changes our, we already have the Michael Murphy kind of thing going. And so we've got these two things going. And I lived everywhere and nowhere for 18 months. It would, like, Murphy's bus would come in after 6 weeks, and I'd get on Jerry Jeff's bus, and we'd go out for another 6 weeks. It was a nomadic lifestyle, which I still lead to some degree. And the thing is, we had to go out for these long periods of time, and so the scenery became everything. And we went to Santa Fe. We played a place called the Line Camp, and there was all these movie stars, I remember now, that were in the room, like Dennis Hopper, you know, those people, some of those kind of cosmic stars, not gigantic movie stars, but Jessica Lange was there. Do you know who I'm talking about? And she was like dancing with every guy in the place and drinking these long neck beers, and sweat was just kind of, anyway, it was stunning. And after the show, we all went to the La Fonda on the plaza and to hang out. And we're hanging out in his room kind of like this, just, buckhorn over there and a elk over here and all these movie stars in the room. And back at the back of the room, there was a guy that really he looked like just walked right out of an old movie, and he had this long handlebar mustache, and he was leaning against the wall like in a saloon and with his chair back. And I kept thinking, who is that guy? And they said, no, he's no actor, but he's famous. He's a poet. His name is Richard Brodigan. Does anybody remember Richard Brodigan? Trout fishing in America, watermelon sugar. These were, he's kind of a Rod McEwen on acid, is what he was. Actually, you probably don't even know who Rod McEwen is, so it doesn't make any difference if he's on acid or not. But the only way you're going to know, really, is for me to do one of his poems. We can do poetry here, can't we? We can do poetry. It's a short one, but you'll know what kind of guy we're dealing with because he's going to make a guest appearance in the next song. So this is Richard Brodigan. A lacy leaf of lettuce fell off of my plate and onto the floor. So what? That was the way the poem went. So we thought anyone that eloquent deserves a drink. So this guy named Gary P. Nunn. No, he wasn't P yet. He was just Gary Nunn. Maybe he was P. I'm not sure. We walked over and bought a bottle of wine. We hung out with Richard Brodigan for the rest of the evening. Came back home and wrote this song. Jerry Jeff recorded it. But I just had a chance to record it on my new CD, Up the Flatland Stairs, available for sale tonight. I do accept credit cards. I got my irons in the fire down in Texas. Got me a toehold in Tennessee. I got my foot in the door of that California store, but I'm up to my ear in me. Don't be concerned if the song sounds familiar. Don't be concerned if it all seems the same. Just be concerned that your policies will kill you, and it's all just public domain. I took a bite of the Big Apple. Yes, I dabbled in that forbidden fruit, you naughty boy, where they promised me points and they slipped me little bitty skinny joints, but I've yet to see any loot from the fat cat in those high-heel Gucci shoes. Don't be concerned if the song sounds familiar. Don't be concerned if it all seems the same. Just be concerned that your politics will kill you, you know that. And it's all just public domain. Let's play it, boys. Uno, dos. Well, I sang in that Red River Valley. I drank wine with the poets in Santa Fe. There he is. And I ran with those darlings in Waxahachie like I ran from Snow White in L.A. I think I go and see what's shaking down in Bombay. And some people will know I've broken all my vows to Demolay. Don't be concerned if the song sounds familiar. Don't be concerned if it all seems the same. Just be concerned that your politics will kill you every day. And it's all just public domain. And it makes sense to get into the rain. Into the rain. It's raining. It's raining. It's raining, 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 rain. It makes sense to get into the rain. Oh yeah, thank you. So I've got this new CD out. So I'll do a few of these songs. I love to play house concerts. play a lot of them. This is one of the best for sure. Doing a good job. But sometimes, you know, you go and they'll say, okay, you know, we give home hospitality. You stay with us. Show you up to their daughter's bedroom, you know, pink poodles and all this stuff. And she's been shipped off to the aunt because her parents have allowed these musicians to come and invade her space. And she never did understand it. Funky bathrooms.
No pink poodles at my house. No. I'd rather line up butterflies and flowers. But not in the bedroom.
And I'm feeling like I'm almost there. At least I know the end's in sight. Opportunities knocking everywhere, everywhere, everywhere. I'm out of the tunnel and into the night. Beautiful sunrise up ahead. A million colors to the dawn. Planets in position, underlined in red. Auspicious beginnings roll us along. Oh, and I can't get enough of it. I can't get enough of it, no. No, I can't get enough of it, but I wanna go home. I've been a gypsy way too long, Susie. I haven't unpacked in 49 years, please. And Ramblin' Jack, he showed me the way to this song. It's full of beauty, adventure, and tears. Oh, the kindness of strangers, the kindness of strangers, and good friends. They put me up 10,000 nights. Anyway, my road is up ahead, just before the dead end, just right there. It's the green gate with the Christmas lights. Oh, and I can't get enough of it. No, I can't get enough of it. No, I can't get enough of it, but you know what? I just want to go home. There were questions answered, never asked. Indian summers never last, they never last. It all happened way too fast. And isn't it strange how the die was cast? And I'm feeling like I'm almost there. I won't miss the turn. This time you'll see. Magic of the mission up the flatland stair. I feel like I made it to the head of the line. Oh, beautiful woman and children, they're waiting there for me. A house full of family and very best friends, and cousins and dogs and cats. Am I only dreaming? Am I only dreaming? Is this just a dream? Am I only dreaming this mystery? I hope I don't wake up before the end. Oh, and I couldn't get enough of it. I couldn't get enough of it, no, and I still can't get enough of it, but I want to go home, and I know some of you know what I mean. Can't get enough of it. Yeah, thank you. Can't get enough. We'll try this one. This is called You Got My Goat, You Might As Well Take My Dog. It's a sing-along. Are you ready? Woo! Oh, you got my goat, you might as well take my dog. You got me out on a limb, sleeping in your hollow log. I know that you need me, you don't want to be alone, but why won't you feed me instead of throwing me a bone? And you got my goat, you might as well take my dog. That's your part, let me hear you sing it. Woo! Woo! You got my goat, you might as well take my dog. Oh, woo! Well, now my dog is good, he's been living on the roof. You say that you love him, but he really needs some proof. You can bide your time, or you can start today. Pick up all the pieces, or throw it all away, cause a dog needs affection like I needed your love. So give me some direction, cause all I can think of, what is it? You got my goat, you might as well take my dog. He's a good old hound, he even writes my daily blog. Pretty good too. He's a lot like you, he's funny and he's smart, but he ripped up my heart like he tore up my bus, or vice versa. And you got my goat, you might as well take my dog. Let me hear you sing it. Oh, oh, oh. I know you can do better than that. Oh, oh, oh. All right, now listen to me. Well, the times start changing and they're moving away fast. You burn up your dreams, they were never meant to last. There's a light at the end of a very long tunnel. I feel like I've been looking through the wrong end of your funnel. I wonder if you heard me or got my reasons right. This whole thing hit me in the middle of the night. What is it? You got my goat, you might as well take my dog. Oh! He writes teenage lyrics for my publishing catalog. Pretty good too, couple of hits. I'm moving far from you where there's no one else around, out of the city back to a one-horse town. And you got my goat, You might as well take my dog. Oh, 3 more times. Woo, woo, woo. You can do better. You got. Oh, it's better. Big ending. You got my goat. You might as well take my dog. Woo! Woo! Oh yeah. Okay, well, so let me see where we are. All right, well, I'll do a sing along, another sing along. We'll take a little break, right? Is that what we're gonna do? Will that work for you? Okay. So, did I tell you I'm from Lubbock? Okay, I already told you that. Now I don't know what to say. But there was a guy in Lubbock. His name was Bobby Lane. Remember Bobby Lane? Football player, All-American, University of Texas. Goes to the Detroit Lions about 6-7 years in a row, All-Pro. He didn't wear a face mask. Has nose broken about 14 times. He hung out with Mickey Mantle. He's the kind of guy that could drink a fifth of whiskey Sunday morning, throw 6 touchdown passes that afternoon. Am I wrong? I mean, that's what the guy was like. And so he was an international celebrity, and when Johnny Cash came to town, he took all us boys to see Johnny Cash, got us all in, third row center. And I had some eclectic friends. They had interesting names like, Busty, Tonky, Bucky, who's right there, Bucky, Bo, Gris, and Bob. I mean, what kind of a group is that? I didn't have the cool name. I think I'm going to change my name. Gris Livingston. That's good, isn't it? Yeah. Pretty good. See? Gris Livingston. Busty Underwood, yeah. I already mentioned Busty, Bucky, all the Tonky, as you know. And, woohoo. But so when we went to the show, I don't know if you remember this, Bucky, but we go, and it was a great show, and it was like a review. There were Loretta Lynn was there, Buck Owens, of course, June Carter, Johnny Cash, Tennessee 3, the whole thing. Great show, fantastic show. But I'm a little obsessive compulsive. I don't know if you know it, but I am. And behind the band, it was a multi-use facility, I think basketball. But anyway, behind the band were these double doors that led into this secret place. I determined, because every once in a while, like, those doors would open and some, like, a pretty woman walk out with a drink and disappear over in the wings. And then there's this waiter-looking dude with a whole tray of drinks and flaming food. It's the first time I ever saw flaming food, and it was steaming, and he just disappeared over here, and I knew something was going on back there. So after the show, which was great, I don't know if you remember, but we walked through those. I saw it because you guys wouldn't. You were so scared. I was scared too. But we went in through those double doors, and it was another world, folks. I don't mean like there were comets screaming across the sky or planets or anything like that. But those same musicians that were playing so well just a few minutes before were all smoking cigarettes and talking to all these pretty women and drinking whiskey, and I just thought, this is what I want to do. So I think that's why I'm here. And after the show, though, when we're back there, suddenly the man himself, Johnny Cash, turns and begins to walk towards me, Bob Livingston. And I'm backing up to those back double doors, and I couldn't believe it. And he was staring into my eyes, staring this hole down to my soul, which still hadn't been filled. And have you ever seen Johnny Cash in person? big guy, black hair back, and he's black eyes, and he's got this craggy face, this big scar, and I think he's wearing elevator shoes, but he's 6'7" anyway, so he's just gigantic, and just very intimidating, imposing, and he's walking up to me, staring in my eyes, and he stopped in front of me, and he spoke to me. He said to get out of the way. But you know what? It was a start. I think that's why I went into country music. And so we're going to do that song. Actually, you see that movie?
Yeah.
What is it called? I Walk the Line. And Reese Witherspoon, she's in the kitchen, and she's married to someone else. And Joaquin Phoenix plays Johnny Cash. He's in the other room, and he's married to someone else, and their hearts are torn asunder. And the way they depict it in the movie, she picks up an auto harp, June Carter, and she says, "Love is a burning thing." Love is a burning thing, and it makes a fiery ring. Bound by wild desire, I fell into a ring of fire. Let's all sing it. I fell into a burning ring of fire. I went down, 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 and the flames went higher. And it burns, burns, burns. The ring of fire, the ring of fire. That's great. The taste of love is sweet when hearts like ours meet. I fell for you like a child. Oh, but the fire went wild. I fell into a burning ring of fire. I went down, 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 and the flames went higher. And it burns, burns, burns. The ring of fire, the ring of fire. Oh yeah. You know, the only country that made me submit every song I was going to sing, the lyrics to every song, or even every joke I might tell, like this one. So there's this guy out, and he's fishing, and he's on this really beautiful pond, and he looks over, kind of the sunset is behind him here, but it's kind of shining off the water, and he sees this kind of shape, and it's a snake with a frog in his mouth. And he reaches down and says, God, that makes some good bait. How makes some good bait? And the snake was writhing, and he picked up this flask, and he knocked the frog out. The frog is flipping on the boat, and the snake is still writhing, and he opens that flask, and he pours this whiskey down that snake's throat, and the snake just kind of relaxes, a smile on his face, and he lets him go, and the snake just kind of floats on down to the bottom of the pond. And so meanwhile, he's cut the frog up for bait, and he's having one bite after another, pulling these fish in, one after another, and he feels this tugging at his... He looks down, and it's that snake with two more frogs. So, anyway, I finally got it out. I couldn't remember it, how I wrote it down, but... So I had to send all those to the censors in Vietnam. Vietnam is like a communist country, and they said, you're going to do this. This is 2006 or 2008, one of those two. And we get there, and I'm sure the first thing this little communist pinko over in his cubicle in Hanoi thought when he got this, because I sent 150 songs, I thought he probably said, man, that's a long set. But in fact... He didn't censor a word. We became good friends afterward. He'd say all these, he had to write one or two sentence synopsises Is that synopsises or synopsy?
Synopsis.
You mean whether it's plural or one? Synopsis?
Yep.
I had to he had to write 100 synopsis. Is that right?
Yeah, it's good for us.
It's good for us. I wanted to say synopsises, but see, that doesn't sound right. Anyway, he had to write 1 or 2 sentences on every song, and what he said about the first song I did tonight is called Original Spirit's my song, and he says, this is about our true nature, which is creativity. And each of us have this original spirit, and we can communicate with each other creatively and become one.
Wow.
And I thought, is that what that song is about? Finally. I never could figure it out. But he did it. His name was Buffalo. So in honor of that tradition, I'm going to count it off and you're going to sing this song. Love is a burning thing. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Love. And it makes a fiery ring. A fiery ring. Bound by a wild desire. Bound by a wild desire. What happened? Okay, now see, some of you went, I fell into a ring of fire. And some of you went, I fell into a ring of fire, which is right. The great thing about this song is he drops a beat. She drops a beat. I fell into a ring of fire. Ready? 3, 4. I fell into a ring of fire. I fell into a burning ring of fire. I went down, down, down. And then all right, that was great. Let's do The Taste of Love is Sweet. Ready? 1, 2, 3. The taste of love is sweet. When hearts like ours meet. When I fell for you like a child. I fell for you. Oh, but the fire went wild. Let's sing it. I fell into a burning ring of fire. I went down, 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 and the flames went high. And it burns, 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 the ring of fire, the ring of fire. One more time. I fell into a burning ring of fire. I went down, 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 the flames went high. What's it do? It burns, 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 the ring of fire. What does it do? It burns, 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 the ring of fire, the ring of fire. Thank you, folks. We're going to take a break. Thanks for coming out. All right.
CDs in the living room. You'll be
What's
out
that?
there manning your CD.
I will be manning the CD booth.